We've been doing this job for a long time, and if there's one thing I've learned, Kevin, back me up if I'm wrong about this, is that bands love to be up and playing at 8 a.m. I mean, they live for it. It's their favorite. Am I right, Matt, from the 1975?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Really? 8 a.m. does not mesh with your lifestyle?
Well, we were up at 6:30, so that was heavy. We don't do that very often.
Well, we apologize for that.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming in with your band, the 1975. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Well, we're doing great. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. We last spoke with you. Kevin and I got a chance to talk to you guys at Acoustic Christmas last year at the Forum.
That's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and it was super, super fun. And it's just, I feel like it's been a rocket ride for you guys since then. I mean, have you had a day off since we saw you at Christmas?
Not really. I mean, we were lucky enough. I think we were like one of the opening bands at that Forum show, and we met you, and we got to play the Forum the other night by ourselves, which was amazing. But yeah, we've not really stopped since then, and we don't really stop for a while.
Most bands' progress is not quite that quick. You like sort of played at the beginning of our show at the Forum, and Friday night you were by yourselves. You're the headliners. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's been amazing for us. I think this record's really kind of resonated with people, and it's kind of extended the kind of hardcore fan base that we already did have. So it just felt like we've kind of capitalized on all the opportunities that we've had. So it's been amazing, really.
Yep. I mean, the key to it is you guys never disappoint. When people go see you in concert, they know they're going to get a great time, and then when you do put out a new record, it's great. I mean, there's been no missteps.
Yeah, it's been good.
Is that pressure filled for you to have everything go so great, or are you just so confident in your abilities that you would accept and expect nothing less?
No. I think that we. I don't know. We just, we've been doing it since we were 13, like the same lineup. So I think that there's like a purity to it, and whether that's something that translates, I can't really be objective about that. But I think that we do it for the right reasons. And I think most stuff, whether it's in art or in any context like that, people kind of just believe in stuff that's believable,
Mm-hmm. I'm always curious about bands that conquer America. How much of that is in your mind back in England? At what point in the 1975's career did you guys start thinking about, hey, we're going to make it in America too?
Oh, well, it was quite early on. I mean, because of the internet, really. It kind of changed things in the past 10, 15 years. Like, you used to have to... I mean, we still do it the old school way, like this tour, we're playing everywhere, and tours before we've done the whole of America, so we've toured it properly. But the internet kind of allows you to have this kind of audience that isn't limited to geography. So
the days when you used to think, oh, we're going to conquer England, but then we're going to have to go conquer a whole other place separately at a separate time.
It doesn't really work like that. I mean, we just went and played to 12,000 people in Mexico City, and that's a country that we've never even been to. So, I mean, that's testament, obviously, to the internet. And I think, like I said, we're quite geographically ambiguous as well. We're quite, sexually ambiguous, racially ambiguous. We don't speak of one particular place or anything. It's more of a kind of a middle-class millennial boredom that we kind of speak of.
Is that by design?
I think it's just through no choice, We're not, we weren't the... we're not like the Arctic Monkeys. So we don't have the whole, Sheffield kind of. We're not. I don't know what it is. I just think that we're not like bands like, for example, like Oasis or the Smiths. Like where they come from is a massive part of their identity,
right,
culturally. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily been the case with the 1975. It's been like I said, a more geographically ambiguous thing. So we've been embraced all around the world.
You have, and musically too, and I think that's I know it's one of the things that you guys are proudest of, is that you can do 10 songs in a row and none of them sound like one another, but that also enables, there are a lot of entry points for you. If somebody loves EDM, or they love punk, or they love hard rock, or they love dance music, or they love whatever, alternative music, you guys can be there for them too, and you must love that fluidity.
I think that we just, like I said, if we're going to do it, we want to kind of be like ambassadors for our generation, which is that kind of millennial generation with no attention span and no tribalism towards kind of cultural things. So, it's very seldom do you find somebody, younger than me who's into one type of music, because we've kind of been conditioned this non-linear consumption of music.
It's very different.
Yeah, to kind of consume everything.
You guys grew up with YouTube being your radio station and iPod or then iPhone on shuffle being your playlist.
I mean, nearly. We're a bit older, like, because I mean, I suppose our fans definitely, people who have found us have definitely found us through there. We just kind of, like, we had the internet early on, and it really informed the way that we make music, therefore the way that people kind of consume our music. So it is very it's quite polarizing, but it's at the same time it's representative of the way that people are. I think.
This might sound odd, but I was a huge John Hughes fan growing up. Your music to me sounds like what his soundtracks would be now.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. I think that's one stylistic thing that is purposeful. I mean, I grew up, being obsessed with John Hughes and obsessed with all of those movies. I think you can hear it quite obviously in the records. Songs like Love Me sounds like Weird Science, and then you've got Change of Heart, which has a kind of, I suppose, a Simple Minds element to it. I just think that there's an idealism to those films, the kind of sense of your teenage years being this kind of apocalyptic time where the future and the past doesn't really matter. It's just all about the present. And I like that kind of celebration of that time of your life.
So when I listen to your music and I stare out the window and pretend I'm in a movie, that's what you were going for?
Totally. Well, that's all I do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the voice of Matt Healy, by the way, from the 1975. The band's going to be performing live down the hall in the Red Bull Sound Space here at KROQ in just a few minutes. Do you worry or do you think at all about how you will age and how that's going to affect the exact thing that you're so successful at now, which is connecting with those people?
Well, I think our audience will grow with us and already have done, I think that it's already very different, like if you look at the first album and the second album, I mean, you might not be that familiar with it, but I think that there's songs on the first album that simply wouldn't have been written on the second album. We've got songs like Sex that I wrote when I was 18, that's 10 years ago nearly. So things just kind of changed naturally, but we've matured and we've kind of grown up as songwriters, and that's all we really, really care about, is making music that makes us feel really, really good. So if we keep doing that, then
songwriting is fascinating to me because you're able to come up with something out of nothing. And I found your process interesting, where you start with music and you're singing nonsense, and then you sort of just morph into words.
It can happen one way. I can either have a very, very clear narrative idea of something that I want to do. For example, we've got a song called The Ballad of Me in My Brain, and that song is about me physically looking for my brain as if I've misplaced it. When you have ideas like that, that's
Right.
really easy, because that was like Dr. Seuss kind of write. It was really easy to write like that. It's when you're writing about broader things that I find quite difficult, that then I tend to appropriate kind of sounds and think, well, what does that vowel sound like? It's quite a complex and lengthy process for us, the writing process.
Matt, when a band is as popular as yours is and so many people fall in love with the songs, does it end in, are there any odd fan encounters as a result of that, or people who misinterpret your lyrics, or people who expect something from you because you're so a big part of their lives?
I think so. I mean, there's an element of, you don't take, after a while, you don't take a kind of personal responsibility, because I think that there is a lot of people who have quite an intense relationship with your music. So then when they meet you in that moment, they want to have quite an intense interaction with you. And when you're actually a normal human being, you're not really prepared for that a lot of the time. So I feel a responsibility artistically to not to inform or educate, but to be honest and be truthful and talk about the things that matter. I don't take on that much of a personal responsibility, because that would be a bit intense. I can't deal with every mental person that loves my band. Do you know what I mean?
And you may not be qualified for that either.
Yeah, exactly. You should seek professional advice.
I heard you talking about sitting on a bench with somebody who was talking about committing suicide, and you were like, look, I write music.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
maybe you need to be talking to somebody else.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not your guy. I'm kind of close to where you're at. So let's just...
Before we send you down the hall to play, tell me about playing the Forum show on Friday night. What was it like for you?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'd love to be like, everyone wants to be like, oh yeah, it was amazing and it was ideal and it was like everything I dreamed of. Those moments are always appreciated retrospectively, because, you're doing it. I think one of the things that I've realized that I actually enjoy doing is dreaming. Because I used to sit in my bedroom and dream about stuff like playing the this or playing the that or putting that record out. And it's actually the dreaming of it that I cover more than the things themselves.
So now that you're doing the things that you used to dream about.
Yeah, and that's not to be like, oh, you know, grass is always greener, but I think you have an idealistic sense of what those things are going to be, and they simply aren't, because you're there. And I hate me. I wish I wasn't there, but I am there, and I have to be the one who deals with it. So it was, retrospectively, it was amazing seeing people enjoy such a different set and stuff. It was amazing. That was all amazing, but you know, it was me on stage, so...
And strange to say, you can enjoy it more in your dream.
Oh, totally. You can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy most things in real life. I enjoy most things retrospectively.
It's like looking at me, but a young man.
Very dark. Got very dark in here.
Oh.
Well, you just have to start dreaming bigger, I guess, Matt. I guess it's the 1975 in space
listen,
is
yeah,
next.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, listen, it sounds like, you know, I'm being poor me. I'm just trying to be like totally honest. Like, you know, those things, you try and play the forum. Do you know what I mean? It's scary.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
No. We'll let the professionals handle it.
We don't want to have anything to do with that.
All right. What are we going to be hearing on the other side of this quick break here, Matt? It's
God
you
knows.
and Adam, your guitar player as well?
Yeah, me and Adam are going to play...
Little stripped down music?
Yeah, kind of. We're going to do Change of Heart and Somebody Else. Yeah, we're gonna do 2 songs off the new record. 2 of our
that's
favorite
fantastic.
ones.
The 1975, you guys. If you're already too late, if you're not on board with how great all of their records are, the EPs and the albums as well, and great live performers too. And we'll get a little taste of that when we come back with the Red Bull Sound Space at KROQ. The band is here, and we'll return right after this on KROQ.